Right. Joining me this evening is Nick Smith from the Heritage Party. We'll be touching on a bit of Boris Johnson's leadership. How are we doing, Nick? All right?
Yeah, not too bad, David. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well.
Yeah, living the dream, bruv. Living the dream. Can't complain.
Yeah. Wait, with that backdrop, I hope you are living a dream, mate. That was beautiful.
Virtual reality, brother. Virtual reality. So what have you made of Boris Johnson's leadership so far? I mean, because obviously, you know, if you're like myself, you obviously find it very disappointing. Starting with the boats. Let's start with the boats. How do you feel about it? Because, you know, we promised to take back control of our borders. What do you think he's doing a good job of that?
Well, look, I hope you're like me, David. When Boris took over the leadership in, when was it, the summer of 2019, just after Theresa May failed to promise, you know, give us what she promised, which was leaving the EU on March 29th, 2019. When Boris won the leadership, I thought brilliant. And then when he appointed Priti Patel, I thought perfect. Because she was tough talking, no nonsense, everything about her. I thought we're in the right direction here. With Boris at the head, Priti Patel at Home Secretary, you know, we're going in the right direction here. And I think what was the 80 seat majority, or whatever it was in December 2019, was a massive majority for the Conservatives. Boris Johnson, Priti Patel, and others. So, am I disappointed? Yeah, of course I am. But we're not just, you know, with Boris, with everyone behind, you know, with him as well. You mentioned the boats. The daily occurrence of not just tens or scores now, it's hundreds. And we all know, David, it's men, it's mainly men of fighting age. And most of these ain't coming from Syria, which they lead you to believe. They're coming from Afghanistan, Iraq, other countries. And they're actually coming from France. So, you know, last I heard and see, France is a safe country. It's not a country I'd like to live in, but it's a safe country. I've heard many stories, and I've been on many radio stations and spoke about this, where the migrants that were at Calais and other places were unhappy with conditions there, you know, and they're now coming over here and been put up in, whether it be barracks or 4-star hotels.
Do we stop you there? Because the barracks ain't good enough, mate. It's 4-star hotels where they set the place on fire.
Exactly. I was just about to point on to that. You know, they weren't happy with that, so their way of showing they weren't happy with it was setting a wing, one of the wings, wasn't it, on the property on fire. So yeah, we now house them in 4-star hotels. But are they happy, David? No, they're not, because we've still got reports now and videos of them complaining about the food not being culturally, culturally, you know, inclined to them, and the conditions they're living in is too cramped for them. And I think, and I'm not sure this is made up, I think this is real, that one of the migrants staying at the camps or the hotel, or whatever it was, complained about the size of the TV. Now, I wouldn't say that unless I remember it being a credible source. So do we laugh about this? And if we do, how long do we laugh about this? You know, because no, what do we do?
It's quite concerning, I think, really. You know, these are economic migrants, as you know, as you just pointed out. They're not fleeing a war-torn country. They're coming over from France, as you know. Although France is a bit of a shithole these days, you know, it's not.
That's it.
Going off there.
It's not Syria or where they're claiming to come from. Yeah.
And, you know, when they complain about the TVs, I think, you know, we should be concerned. Let's not forget that bloke up in Glasgow went on a stabbing spree because they had crap Wi-Fi.
I forgot about that, yeah.
You know, we got, and again, with the 7/7 bomber, originally where I'm from in Fulham, we had the Parsons Green bomber. You know, he was a refugee, when I think he was a Syrian refugee, rescued and brought in by the British Navy. And that's how they repay us. Now,
Yeah, well, that's it.
speaking out, just having a general conversation like this, just two blokes talking about, the reality of, this uncontrolled immigration. You get called all sorts of names, as you're aware, racist, nasty, stuff like that. But the reality is, we don't know who these people are. We don't know their backgrounds. We don't know anything about them. And we're putting them in 4-star hotels. And I, as yourself, I've seen a lot of stuff online. People talking about their local neighbourhood and their concern. Girls are being harassed. I see a story not so long ago. I don't know if you see that one, Nick, with the school kids, the school girls going to school, and I think the headmaster told them not to get off at a particular bus stop and get off further off down the road because there was a 4-star hotel there housing migrants, and they were wolf whistling and harassing the girls and that.
Yeah, no, I do remember. Yeah, disgraceful. But yeah, you still get, the thing is now, David, you'll still get people saying refugees welcome. Let's not tar everyone with the same brush and all that. And you mentioned earlier about the typical, oh God, racist, bigot, little Englander. It's
Gammon.
Oh yeah, how can I forget that?
Bagnonce, I've been called it all.
But pathetic. It's a lazy response to an argument that you can't debate with, and it's well proven. Everyone knows that. I can't win this debate or this argument, so you're a racist and you're this and you're that. It's been used time and time again, and pathetic, boring, done.
See, now I've noticed with Preet Patel, as you were saying about, them both being tough talking, initially, at least, they were, and even still to this day. I mean, I wrote to Preet Patel a while ago. I started a letter petition. I got a few hundred people to send letters into her, and I actually got a response from her, which wasn't like an automated one. It was in response to my letter, pretty much in response to what I wrote to her. And she told me at the time that her hands were tied because of the EU. And after, January, once we officially left the EU, she could do more. But obviously she hasn't. It's just all talk. So moving forward from that, I mean, where do you think we go from here? Like, as a country, we've got a conservative government which aren't really interested in conserving anything, really, are they?
No, of course they're not. Which is, why I'm glad the Heritage Party have come about through David Curtin to show what real conservatism is. But going briefly back to Priti Patel again, she said, "Oh, my hands are tied until we officially in January 2020," and then. What's the excuses now? We see her doing this odd photo opportunity down where the migrants are coming in. We're not stupid. They still think we're stupid, David. Which but who else could we think in the Conservative Party now? Immediately, I'm not too sure of where we can go, but we are of desperate need of a new party. So that's where I'm heading to now. The Conservatives done, Labour don't even go there. Liberal Democrats, we need to. This is why the main focus now is on new parties. Heritage Party, I hope, are going to go the way. David, we've spoken about this before, but yeah, so.
Yeah, I think it needs. We need some fresh new parties, or at least the trouble is we've got too many offshoots from UKIP, I think, and it does, as they say, as people say, splits the vote. But I think if people were to take on these small fringe parties and get behind them in certain areas, if there could be some sort of coalition between, like, an agreement, moving forward. It really hurt the Conservatives moving forward, because it's not just to say, well, not just here, but we're seeing globally. These are globalists, and they're all using the same slogan.
Build back better.
Build back better, yeah. Build back better.
Build back better and bitter and butter. Let's quickly talk about that. I thought it was a parody when I first see it, because I didn't actually hear the sound of it, I just see the video and I thought, that's a parody. And then I see another video and then I thought, is he, what is this? Is he trolling?
Yeah.
Or is he just taking a piss out the slogan or gone back on it or what? What is it? It's definitely trolling us, like you say.
But again, see, globalists, we know here, obviously using that slogan in America, the Democrats, you've got Joe Biden using it. And also, I mean, you've got the likes of Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London, who's also used the slogan "Build Back Better." And across, well, we've seen world leaders that were using the same term. What do you reckon they mean by "Build Back Better" then?
Well, it's got. Are we maybe leading towards the Great Reset? I don't know. It's never has this been done before, is it? Where every major political party around the world has used the same chant, the same slogan,
yeah,
bollocks fucking thing, Sorry for swearing, but never has it done. So, and it all come from the World Economic Forum, which was what's his name? Anyway, the clause. But yeah, so it's derived from that, and it is, if people ain't waking up to that, what will they wake up to? I don't know.
Yeah. And it's when you look at that, you see them all using the same slogan, and they're all from different parties, and allegedly different policies and whatever. We'll pretty much all have the same policy, which is uncontrolled immigration. We're talking about Western world here, so the same in America, in New Zealand, proper lefty stuff going on here. I say that because that's exactly what it is. This isn't a right-wing government, as the lefties try to make out it is, because obviously if it was, we wouldn't have uncontrolled immigration, would we?
Look, the lefties make out it's a right-wing government. We know it's not a right-wing government because we voted in what we thought was going to be a right-wing government, and fuck me, it's the total difference. But I mean, you spoke about immigration earlier. I've always said, David, immigration is good, great, and beneficial. Has been for centuries, and it always will be. However, uncontrolled mass immigration in a short period of time is not, and it's evident. It's evident that it's not beneficial or great for the countries. So immigration policies, you mentioned immigration, and you spoke about this, the term racist and bigot. All you got to do is mention immigration and you're labelled racist and a bigot to put you down, so you can't further your argument, which we spoke about. But a healthy immigration policy works well for everyone. But we haven't had that in decades. But hopefully, hopefully we are going to lead to the way we want it to for a healthy immigration.
If it's not too late, I mean, what we've been seeing recently with the likes, with uncontrolled immigration, like we just discussed, you get shut down with Steve Laws, for example. He's down there every day. He's filming, and recently, I don't know if you see, he was on Talk Radio, and then after that session on Talk Radio, Hope Not Hate, who are completely and utter racists, and they slander people all the time. Then tweeted calling him a far right fascist or something along those lines, like straight afterwards. So I hope he sues the bastards. Personally,
he should because. That's lazy. It's pathetic, boring. But Steve Laws, he's been there since day, exposing the illegal migrants coming over here. It's actually only because of him and I think a couple of other patriots that were going down there, David, and exposing what was going on to let us know. Because the mainstream media weren't ever going to let us know. We're not stupid. That's why we're not stupid. The mainstream media were never going to let us know what was going on down there. So thank you to Steve Laws, Chris Johnson, and the other people doing it now, Tracy Wiseman. I can go on. But thank you for doing that since day one, you lot, because that got Nigel Farage's attention. And I spoke about it on Talk Radio with Mike Graham or Patrick Christie's when he was on it with someone. And I spoke about that's the only reason Nigel Farage really went down there, because the other Patriots were getting. So Nigel Farage went down there, and fair play to him because he exposed it then to Talk Radio, and then the mainstream media finally latched on weeks, months later. So, you know, thank you to them guys. But yeah, hope not hate. I mean, what a ridiculous, you know, the irony, hope not hate. They're the worst people out there, just like the anti-fascists, balaclavaed up. You know,
it seems to be a trait with the left. They hide behind these names, you know, like, you know, as you say, like anti-fascists, and really they are fascists. Hope not hate. They're full of hate. You know, Black Lives Matter. Who was saying that they didn't? All lives matter. And if you said all lives matter, then you know you're racist. They hide behind. They mask themselves. They veil themselves behind these names.
Black Lives Matter only when the white person, or in my opinion, is the aggressor. Black on black crime is a massive thing that needs to be tackled. You know, mainly in America, really. I don't think we've got that bad over here, but
just to touch on that, just to make a point here, because I'm sure if there's any you know, raging lefties that are watching this, they normally do. They like to slag me off when I post videos. But just to touch on that, if you was, you know, you're spot on there. So let's say, for example, Sasha Johnson, she was shot in the head, right? And allegedly the shooters were black. But let's say it was in reverse. Let's say the shooters were white. It'd be a never-ending story on the news channel. But they were black. We didn't hear anymore.
Nah. Now, isn't that funny? Because let's talk about this more, David. Because Diane Abbott, MP for Hackney, is she MP for Hackney? Yeah, MP for Hackney, I believe. Immediately come out with it was a. I'm right in thinking. I'm not going to go quote
because of her political views, isn't it?
Yeah, but it more to that the aggressor and the person was going to be the white person because of the. Didn't turn out that way, did it? No more was spoken about it from Diane. All the other Labour MPs or the people that follow around her like a lost fucking dog. So, and you're right, you're so right, and everyone knows it. And I don't want to see anyone, but the person wasn't white, so therefore it wasn't mainstream. 24-hour, it would have been 24 hours, 7 days, David.
Yeah.
This spoke about, had it been a white person, football hooligan, maybe a Tommy Robinson supporter that done this. It'd have been round the clock riots, mass riots. We know we would have seen this. We would have I met Sasha. I don't know if I told you this, David, briefly at the Freedom Rally. I think it was the first one I went to this year, March 2021. Me and Katie, I've got videos and pictures where we briefly met her. I was shouting, what happened? I was shouting, the missus was shouting, babe, get back here, because the police were coming in near where we were going round. And Sasha turned around, I thought, you talked to me or something like that. And she seemed really nice, just like, But, no one deserves to get shot in the head, obviously. But she seemed like a really nice person. Like I say, I've got pictures of where she's in the background, and videos of where she's in the background. So I haven't got nothing, But had it been a white person, we all know David Poland, this would have been.
Oh yeah, if it's the other way around, if it was that, it doesn't fit the narrative, can't push through. So I mean, but I just wanted to make that point because of what you were saying. I just think people they're quick to point the finger, but I just wanted to put that if it was the other way around, it wasn't, it wouldn't be out. So right now. Boris Johnson. So we just touched on the immigration thing. He's made a complete and utter mess. Pigs you with that. Now we've got all this COVID stuff. Now in Australia, they tried to mandate saying that the tradies out there, if you work on a construction site, you need to be double jabbed. If you're not double jabbed, then you can't go to work. Here, they haven't chosen the construction industry. Obviously, they know it'll kick off like it has in Australia. So they've gone for a softer group, and they've gone for the care workers. Now you have to be double jabbed, and now you have to have a booster, or you lose your job. I personally think that's how it starts, and then they'll move on to other industries from there. I mean, what have you made of their approach to the pandemic?
I mean, just briefly, very briefly, Australia. I mean, who would have thought in their right minds, just a few years ago, that Australia, out of all countries around the world, would be acting the way they're acting with their police force, their stormtroopers. You know, that's just madness. But you know, you're right. They've gone for the easiest group, the care workers, which is funny, but not in a funny way, because, you know, obviously we were meant to applaud the care workers no matter what they've done during this whole pandemic and you know, everything else. But now we're meant to, or the government are meant to sack them if they've not been double jabbed, and this whole double jab and have a booster. Again, where is it to have 3 jabs because the first 2 didn't work? It's just nonsense, this whole thing, David. You know, but
Israel, in Israel, sorry to stop you, I think in Israel they're like on their 4th dose at the moment, and they've got the highest infection rate in the world. They've got the highest population that have been double jabbed. They've got the highest rate, apparently. So that just goes to show where you're headed, because
which tells you that people are making far too much money off this, and the people taking injections for some weird, freakish reason just love being injected. You know, I can't work it out.
No,
I'm not having no experimental drug. I'm not. And so many people have put it, you know, really good. They're not. Most people aren't anti-vaccine. They're anti this because our experimental, it is not leaving the trials until 2024 or 2023. And many other reasons for that. And most of these people that don't want to take the COVID vaccine have been vaccinated for other things. But so that goes to show that, you know, give us some sort of, you know, sway.
Have you seen the government minister in Australia? Just touching back Australia, she quit from allegations of corruption or saying there's some investigation. Or have you seen that? He was getting money from Pfizer.
I did see that, and just quickly reflect on that, touching on something like that. I see something just a day or 2 ago where you had 2 or 4 people from Pfizer telling a journalist that actually there's a chance that your antibodies are just as good as the experimental jabs you're having in you. So it's all going to come to light. It always, you know, we are going to get to that point, but for all the millions of people that have had their cancer, related appointments
delayed, and people have died and all sorts. Yeah,
right. And, you know, oh mate, I don't know. You know,
is it worth it? That's the question. And like you said, time will tell. People will look back on this in 5-10 years' time and be like, you know, what the hell happened? Or I think by then we'll probably have our social credit system score. We won't be able to say anything.
Oh, don't. Yeah. Hi, Chang. We're going to China late. It's weird. Oh, no cash. We're going digitalized. China. So, let's talk briefly about China. I mean, what are they doing? They're flexing their muscles. They're gonna go into Taiwan. They're gonna annex or reclaim Taiwan. They're gonna do. What do you think? Do you think we're gonna stand up to China if they do what they want to achieve in the next few years?
I think it's too late. I think the Cold War never ended, Nick. I think, you know, the Chinese have been, you know, operating under the shadows for a long time, and they've got all their people in prominent positions in different institutions around the world. You know, from the World Economic Forum. You know, that was a perfect example. We've got, you know, the Democrats, for example. We've now got, you know, the socialist government out of there. And here, to be fair, I mean, you know, the Conservatives are much better than the Labour Party, and they've done a lot of deals with China. I don't know if you remember when you had David Cameron and Gideon or George Osborne. They did a deal with China for the nuclear power. Yeah. So I'm sure there's a few
the Hinkley
backhanders have gone on.
I remember. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. So China have been buying their way into every country on the planet. I think in Australia, they've bought loads and loads of land in Australia. They practically own a lot of the Northern Territory. I know in Darwin, they own the harbour. They got like a 1,000-year lease on it or something ridiculous. So yeah, they're buying their way into all different countries and governments and whatnot. So I don't think, Nick, that if there was a war, I don't think that countries would get involved because they've all been bought.
That's crazy though, because they've played the game, and like you say, you mentioned the Cold War earlier, where they've learned from Russia's mistake. Everything's produced in China. You look at your things, it's all Chinese, and but this is where we need to look at it and think, well, hang on, because they are in so many of our governments, our governments in their pockets. I think they were going to take over the black cab trade years ago or something like that, Chinese, and they've already, like you say, they already own so much of our establishments and that in London and around England and around the world. But they are a force, I think, to be noticed.
Well, they've just, if you look, the Five Eyes have broken up. We see New Zealand, the transsexual Prime Minister of New Zealand dropped from the Five Eyes and joined up with China. You know about
that? Who was that? Oh, Jack and what's her name? Jack. What did you say?
Have you seen the video with her walking? This is a video with so you got to look this up. You haven't seen it. So there's a video of her walking along. She's got like a blue dress on, if I remember rightly. And mate, I'll tell you what, she's hung like a donkey. It was like swinging in front of it, her dress. Yeah. And a lot of people think she's a geezer.
I heard you say, and I thought, did he say that? I'm not too sure. Because you're on about, I thought, hang on, Jack and that as a. Do you know what? Wait, you got to watch Spitting Image. But they got her down to a point on that. But it's she's just briefly touched on her. She just announced, lockdowns isn't working. I know now lockdowns didn't work or are not working. Too little, too late. But,
Yeah. Well, this is it. I think now, as we're saying, that in 5-10 years' time, we're going to look back and think what a complete and utter mess this is. They've crashed the economy. They want to bring around a cashless society. And this is an ideal time to do it, isn't it? We're trillions in debt. The amount of money that we've printed out to hand out to these businesses, I reckon about half of our currency has been printed in the last year, probably. The country's in a mess, and obviously, we've been talking globally, but the UK, I think Boris Johnson and the Conservatives, we just got to get rid of them. It's like having a Labour Party in slow motion.
Do you know what? I think Labour Party are definitely dead in the water. I think Jeremy Corbyn buried them. I think Keir Starmer is desperately trying to, dig them back out. I don't think that's going to happen. Conservatives, like we touched on earlier, David, in 2019, they took that 80-seat majority because we wanted Brexit done, because we wanted immigration controlled. We wanted illegal immigration. Let's talk about that first word again, illegal. We wanted illegal immigration properly controlled and, sorted out. So many people lent the Conservatives votes. Many Labour voters did, which was the first ever time, which is why they broke the Red Wall.
Red Wall went down, yeah.
So many UKIP people, so many people done that. And I voted, I voted 2019 Conservatives. But
did you?
Yeah.
I didn't. I didn't do that. No.
It was like Conservatives or Labour in Slough, to
yeah.
That's what I was thinking locally. You know what I mean? It's not. But But so yeah, no, so many of us done that. And 2019, we've handed them a 5-year leadership. Hopefully, there's got to be an election before that. There's got to be a general election before that because of the COVID. We need our say about how they handled COVID. We need our say about how they've handled their promises. So we definitely need a general election before the one where it's mandated, which is 2024, I believe. So we definitely need one before. We need
what do you make of his wife, Boris's wife, Carrie?
But yeah, well, you know, I see.
Who voted for her?
I see Boris, and then I see the strings up, and just above, if you look right up, she's there, like that. So you know, we voted Boris. We got Carrie. I don't know. Actually, was he with her at the 29th? How long has he been with her? I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah.
Either way, we voted Boris and we got Carrie.
Yeah, pretty much. Now we're seeing all these, you know, lefty buddy policies coming through. Yeah, it's a shame. So I think, yeah, Heritage Party for me, for you right now, we're seeing as a nice alternative. Although I do wish the other parties best of luck as well. For me, I think
we're not gonna. You know, we've all got the same cause, we've all got the same agenda, we've all got the same reason, but just very split hairs that are why we're with Heritage and some other people Reclaim, some people are very split. But we're all for the main cause. So good luck to them. But yeah, Heritage Party. Let's hope we get to where we want to get to. Let's hope David Curtin gets to get us more out there, and we all play our part as foot soldiers. We're all going to stand as candidates. You know, you're doing a brilliant job, David. So yeah, let's see.
Cheers. Well, thanks for your time, Nick. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you for the opportunity, mate.
And yeah, good to have a chat with you. I've had the chin wag for a while about politics. Anyway, at least normally I do my girlfriend's natting, so it's like
same as me, mate. It's like we're not together having a few and having a rant. No, calm down.
Yeah, like a political machine gun. Well, yeah, thanks again for your time. And you know, to those who watching the stuff, if have a look at the Heritage Party. I'll leave a link below the video so you can check us out and join up and get involved, because the service they've let us down, and they
100%.
Yeah, thanks for your time, and I'll see you again soon. Next time we meet up, I'll buy you a beer.
Definitely, it's on you, mate. Take care, David. Thank you, mate.
Cheers.